7 p.m. And this is Doug Cornfield. I'm along with special guest and host Dave Clark, Dave Geis, and we have some other wonderful special folks that are going to be joining us today throughout the podcast.
Hi.
And welcome. Today's episode 40. Is that a milestone, guys? I'm not sure.
Well, it is now.
It is now? It's some kind of a milestone. We have a little.
Sure. 40 is a big number.
On. Hopefully, some people will start joining us. There comes somebody. Chat with us. Give us a little questions for the guest today. And so let me start. Dave Geis, we'll put you on. Why don't you tell everybody how you're doing tonight? What's up?
No, everything's going good, man. Green Bay, Wisconsin. It was a cold day today. It's only low 30s. The wind's probably in the 20s. So, winter is coming.
And our man of the most hours, at least some hours, Dave Clark, how you doing today?
Good. We're all in Florida except for Dave, I think.
Yeah.
That's true.
That low 30s, you can keep that crap.
It's balmy.
Yeah. I got 72 right now here.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It is currently.
Yeah, I'm in Tallahassee, if you didn't know, guys. So I'm off site. I'm in Tallahassee. My son has a cross country national meet on Saturday. So that's where we are.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, I heard a big echo. I'm not sure where that is. And then we have our guest is in the background, and we'll pull him up in just a minute. And then we also have some
Hi, guys.
folks, that are familiar with us. Say hi. This is Austin and Angela Booth.
Hi.
And you guys are definitely a part of the Pulling Each Other Along book, and we're just telling your story. If you guys, before I pull on this next guest, because I got to meet him back in the spring, tell us a little bit about your story. Just give us the brief summary.
Go for it, Austin.
Mom might have to do it.
Stage fright.
Oh, yeah. Don't, where are you going? You're on video here. All right. So Austin has a few medical issues. And we were out to dinner one night in Panama City where Camo Dreams brought us over there to do a special thing from Austin's birthday. And in the midst of all of this, we went out to dinner one night at a restaurant, and Austin saw these bikers all come in. He was kind of scared. He kept looking back at their table, kind of like, hey, this is like, I'm kind of scared, Mom, because of course, he loves Son of Anarchy, so does his sister. And he's like, I've seen the shows, everything. I'm like, buddy, you're okay. So we were trying to figure out the cuts on the back, the skull and everything like that. And this gentleman named Cockpit Rex comes over and is like, hey, can I ask, do you have any questions? What can I help you with? And Austin was terrified. Absolutely terrified. He just kind of like sat back in the chair. And by the end of all of it, Rex had him on the bike out back, hanging out. Him and Riddler, Johnny, and Melissa had him on there, and they were taking pictures, had him over the bike, and it was an instant bond. They just made an instant bond automatically. Right. And our lives have changed completely. Absolutely.
Well, it's a great story. It brought me to you guys, and we heard about your story, and I thought it was a great Pulling Each Other Along story of how these mostly men, but men and women are part of this group that are pulling people along. They look scary. They look all the on the bikes and with black clothing and leather clothing. They look scary, but underneath it, there's some men and women with some really soft hearts that are helping people, and so. That's really cool. And so without further ado, because I want to be really respectful of his time because he's out on the road and he's agreed to come on the show. Somebody that Dave Clark and I got to meet back in the spring. And we got Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, how are you?
Machine Gun Preacher.
Good.
Welcome to the Pulling Each Other Along show.
It's been a little while since I've seen my little buddy there. He looks good.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was very pleased when I looked and seen how good he's looking. So praise God.
Yes, I agree. It's been amazing. It's been a journey, Sam. It really has, but it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah. I know the last time I seen him, he wasn't feeling real good. But anyways, I didn't know he was going to be on this show, but it really made my evening. So thank you.
Oh, really? Well, surprise.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you, Sam, and and the work that you've done and continue to do with your rescue and Really, I hope you get to be part of the Pulling Each Other Along book someday, another version of it, because that's what you've been
it'd be
doing. You've
great.
been pulling people
I don't
along.
know if you have heard what's been happening in Uganda, but just in the last 2 days, they had 5 suicide bombers
Oh, wow.
that started bombing the capital of Uganda. And
Wow.
they had 1 they caught, but 4 they didn't catch. A lot of people was killed. Many were injured. It's really bad, really bad.
Oh, that's horrible. How's your
Yeah.
place?
Yeah,
You're right.
it just happened maybe almost 3 miles from my home. My wife called me. My wife is from Uganda, and she called me and told me, and yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. The country's always under alert, but it was shocking to be so close to my home.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's not good.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're at least a little familiar with the kind of danger and terror and what you've been doing throughout your life and what they made a movie about.
Unfortunately, we live in a world that I believe it's going to only happen more and more, and I tell people around the world, we need to look at everything around us. Don't be scared. Just be aware of what's going on around you. And if something don't look right, tell somebody,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. And it's really cool because for folks that don't know, and I'm going to bring in Tank in here because he got on the show. Tank's the president of the. Did you come in? I don't see it, Tank. You must be paused.
He's dressed all.
There he is.
I thought he was all black tonight.
Yeah, the joys of technology. We have 6 of us on here, and I'm in a hotel in Tallahassee. I'm out of my sorts, but we'll do the best we can. And Sam joining us in. We got to meet Sam. Dave, why don't you, Dave Clark? Why don't you share about the Pulling Each Other Along award and what happened not too long ago, back in the spring.
Well, yeah, it was at the Fort Myers at the 6 Mile bends out there at the motorcycle shops, and you and I had a chance to listen to Sam and listen to his story, which I think we should have him tell the listeners here what really is behind his story. And then we met Tank there and awarded Sam the Dave Clark Pulling Each Other Along award. That was back in February, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, Fort Myers, quite a while ago. But well-deserved award.
You guys don't really have winter in Florida.
No,
we don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have one day. That's it.
Wait, one day.
So, Sam, what did you think when you got that award? I know we tried to surprise you. Did we actually surprise you?
It was very awesome. When I heard the story behind the award, was really awesome. And then when you get something like that, I mean, I believe most people, especially me, I always think, man, I don't even deserve this, because so many other people I know does if not way more than I do, and I just try to tell people, don't focus on getting a payment, don't focus on getting an award, just focus on helping people. I mean, that's what life is all about. If somebody wouldn't have helped me many years ago, I wouldn't be here today.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're trying to do with Pulling Each Other Along.
It's awesome. Awesome, I can tell you.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, and you are deserving of that award. And
absolutely,
one of the things that Dave and I look for with award winners is people that don't want awards.
That's good.
So
whenever I got mine, I was completely flabbergasted. Like, I had no idea it was coming. That's funny. I was recording myself getting an award. So I was like, hold on a minute, what?
Yeah. Probably one of our favorite things to do is to actually surprise people when we can with that award. And
praise God.
And we have 2 award winners on here for the Pulling Each Other Along award, and we want to highlight. We have obviously we have this book coming out, and that's part of the reason we're doing this promo for those that don't know or haven't helped us yet. We have a book called Pulling Each Other Along coming out. and
Wow.
it's highlighting stories of great people, the kind of people that don't want awards,
That's
and and
awesome.
and they're telling their stories and they're telling what pulled them along in their life. And of course, we're doing the Kickstarter right now, so you can go to pullingeachatheralong.com and
Mm.
order that. But we did something special today, Sam.
All right.
I don't know if you've ever done a Kickstarter. Have you ever done a Kickstarter and know what that is?
No, no. The only thing, I had an old panhead one time I had to kickstart.
There you
Every
go.
time I got on that thing.
So,
Kickstart or just kick?
Now
so
I got older. I put electric start on it now.
yeah. Well, basically, it's the same premise, I would guess. We're
Wow.
young in infancy with what we're trying to do with the Pulling Each Other Along
It's awesome.
book, and it's a way for us to raise money, people to pre-order the book. Obviously, Austin and Tank, they wrote a chapter in this book, and so they're highlighted in the book. They have a chapter, and
Awesome.
so the Punishers are actually in the book. This is what there's a whole. We got folks with cancer, we got folks in wheelchairs, we have folks with missing legs, polio, Down syndrome, all sorts of different stories. Rocky Blyer, do you know the Rocky Blyer story?
No, no, no.
Rocky was our guest last week. The reason I bring him out because it's 2 weeks in a row where we've had somebody that had a movie made about them. Rocky had a movie
Wow.
back in 1980, and of course you had a movie. What year was your movie?
2011.
Yeah. So 2 weeks in a row we have people
Praise
that actually
God.
had movies made about them, and Rocky was a
That's
Pittsburgh
awesome.
Steeler. So if you're not familiar with Rocky, you can go back and watch that show, or people can watch that show. That's me with Rocky at the Super Bowl 3
All
or 4
right.
years ago. And Rocky was a four-time Super Bowl champion, but after his rookie season was called to Vietnam. And if you're not familiar with his story, and took a grenade, got shot, was left there, pulled out in the middle of the night, rescued by an African American soldier friend that he never ever met, and even doesn't even know his name.
Wow.
Rocky.
It sounds like something really I'd like to look into. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Rocky Blyer, Terry Bradshaw. You might know Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Terry
Yep.
wrote Terry is a teammate of Rocky's, and in all 4 of those Super Bowls. And Terry wrote the foreword for this coming book.
That's awesome.
And so we're just trying to get the word out there. And we did a Punisher special. What did we offer, Tank?
We offered some sweatshirts, and Punisher sweatshirts, and I think we might try to add a little something else, but I got to work on it before I say anything.
All right, well we got that going, but I do want to focus. It's not often we get somebody like Sam on here, and so Sam, tell us how you've been pulling people along, and even how you've been pulled along, if you don't mind.
I went into South Sudan, northern Uganda. It's been this year 27 years now. I went in just on a mission trip. I thought I was going to be there 3-4 weeks. I got in the middle of a civil war, and I knew I had to do something. Most people would run. I wanted to run. I thought about running. I thought about never going back again, but I knew I had to do something to help the children. I never thought of a book, movie, getting recognized or anything. I just started rescuing children. I never dreamed that it would have got this big, and now there's 5 orphanages. We feed over 8,500 meals a day.
Wow.
We built 7 schools. We're building number 8 school now. The organization, we're very big into teaching skills and trades. Most orphanages in a third world country, you have to leave at 15 years old, and 70% of those kids end up in prostitution. So through teaching a skill and a trade, you can really change someone and give them a future. So over the years, we started from restaurants we started a commercial farm. and it all led to bigger and better things. Now we have hotels, fuel stations, supermarket, but we have about 560 people on a payroll right now that are working, making a living, but most of all, learning a skill and a trade that's changing their life. So we're not just having an orphanage rescuing little children. When they get older, we're also changing their life and giving them a future. So I never dreamed the work would have ever got so big, and it keeps growing every year.
Man, that's obviously there's not many people that do this kind of stuff, and you're pulling people along in an amazing way.
But there's a lot of support. There's a lot of supporters. We've had the Punishers. We've had you guys. I mean, so many people have got behind our work. Just last year alone, we was able to give away 90% of the food that come off of our farm. So last year alone, we gave away over 90 ton of rice. Now that's not including what we put in our own storehouse. So, I mean, this year, right now, as we speak, my wife has finished our rice harvest. Now, our first rice harvest was bad. So just the second rice harvest was bigger than last year. But now last year was 2 rice harvests. This year, off 1 rice harvest, we got more than 70 ton of rice. So we'll be blessing a lot of people over the holidays. We're going to give it all away. I mean, it's about changing people's lives and saving people's lives.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's amazing. And I know where are you right now? I know you're out speaking, sharing.
I'm inside of Missouri. I have 4 meetings down here over the weekend. So I'll be outside of Kansas City tomorrow over the next 2 days. But if anyone's interested, they can go to MGP World Tour. That's MGP World Tour. Or you can get on our Facebook sites. All the meetings are on there. I go back for Thanksgiving. Our church in Pennsylvania will be giving out 110 Thanksgiving meals. I'm telling you, God is just so good. I mean, I thank him every day. I thank him for our supporters. Our church in Pennsylvania, we was able to give out not 110 turkeys, 110 Thanksgiving meals, sweet potatoes, or not apple pie, pumpkin pie. We were able to give away all of it for people, a complete meal. So I've been so happy. And then I leave back to Africa on the 1st, and we'll go straight into the bush and start rescuing children. We have a project going on now. It's called the Bush Kids Project. We go within an hour to 2 hours deep into the bush. We take doctors, blood lab, rescue children. Malaria, if you Google malaria, you'll see that in Africa alone, they say a child dies every 2 minutes. So that's our big project right now.
Wow. And so how do you orchestrate all of those things? Where does it start? Where does it begin? You've got to raise money. You've got to raise fund. You got to have an army of people around you.
I thank God for everything we got going on, all the businesses that we have. I mean, COVID put a stop on a lot of our things, but our businesses flourished. I run a security company in East Africa. It's been booming. We have hotels, we have restaurants. So all the money that we make goes back into rescuing children. Plus, I'm a preacher. I'm a motivational speaker. I go out on the road as much as I can to raise money. We got a lot of good people out there that backs us, supports us. So we were able to keep everything running over the past 2 years of COVID.
Wow, that's very impressive, because I know for us in our organization, it's been extremely difficult to keep things moving. A lot of the just a lot of things that we were naturally doing, all of a sudden you couldn't do them anymore. And so it's
absolutely. Well, we dropped off almost $1 million a year from my speaking on the road, evangelizing.
Right.
But it's really crazy what God did. The money that we dropped off from evangelizing, all the businesses picked up. So we were blessed. Now our feeding programs we were doing before COVID, we were doing about 14,000 meals a day. So we have backed off to about 8,000 meals a day right now.
Gotcha. But that's still truly pulling each other along and pulling many people along, and that's
it's been good.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Well, we're going to talk. We have a couple of fun things that we do during our pulling each other along broadcast. One of them is kind of silly, but Dave Clark has a love for donuts. All right, so I made sure that was in the book, and I know you got one of the County Kindness books. He loves donuts, so I made sure donuts was in the book. And Thom, if he's listening, he would be mad at me if we don't ask. But we always ask, what is your favorite donut? And he went silent on me.
Who are you asking me?
Yeah, you're the guest.
All of us. I think just the old-fashioned glazed donut for me.
Right, the old-fashioned simple glazed donut. That works. That works for sure. So anyway, yeah, we would have some of our fans that would be upset if we didn't ask the preacher, the machine gun preacher, what their favorite donut is. Now, are you watching football at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No, man, I don't have time. No, I'll be honest with you. I've never watched a sport in my life. I know, and I should. Wow. Pennsylvania has one of the best football teams out there. And maybe you don't like him, but the Steelers are like, to a lot of people, they're number one. So am I a Steelers fan? I am, because I'm from Pennsylvania, but I don't watch sports. I'm crazy obsessed with working, I guess.
Well, you're doing good, and it's gotten hard to watch sports for me. It's just one of those things where it's gotten harder and harder. But we do have a game tonight, and we'll with respect to your time, we'll probably ask Austin this question later. So be prepared, Austin. We got one coming your way. Anything, Austin, you want to ask Sam? Don't shy up on me, buddy.
Well, no.
We're on mute.
No, we can hear you.
We hear you.
Do you?
Oh, okay. It says we're still on mute. That's weird.
Yeah. Now we can hear you. I'll just turn you on.
Okay, so go ahead.
I just want to say to Austin, you really made my day. I had no idea he was going to be on here, and he just really made my day. Most of all, Austin, you look really good, so whatever you're doing, keep the faith. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I think of you and pray for you. I have your picture of me and you where I was praying with you. I have it on my phone. I probably see it every week. So, but anyways, you made my night, man.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you for being a part of us tonight, Sam. Any thing you want to add for what you're doing, what we're doing before we let you go?
I think I just want to say this much. Everybody out there, this is a big season right now. Okay, this is Christmas. Thanksgiving week is next week. Then we got Christmas. We got New Year's. Over the next month and a half, we all can do something to help someone that's in a problem. And it doesn't matter if it's overseas or if it's right here in America. We can find someone that we can make their lives different. So I'm just going to ask everybody out there, find a family that needs some help and end up helping them this year.
No, that's great words, and that's really what pulling each other along is about, and not just helping them. One of the things that we're doing, Sam, that I think is really cool is we're also wanting to encourage people to tell those people that have helped pull them along before it's too late.
Absolutely.
Don't delay. I actually created I don't even know if we have it in here. I created a greeting card that people can go to our website and order to encourage them to reach out and just say, thank you for pulling me along. Thank you for
That's
doing
awesome, man. Really good.
And and that's, we don't do that enough. I don't do that enough. The story of Dave and being pulled in the wagon. I mean, here he's thanking somebody 45 years later, and it's
I'm
now a
telling you.
story that we've been talking about, and we have awards about, all about Dave's shirt. If you can see Dave's shirt, that he's got on. I don't know if we can see that a little bit better, but he's got the
Wow.
wagon shirt on right now, and it's pretty cool to just have this one little story that continues, and that little story, that's something that somebody might do in the next week. Who
Yeah.
knows? It could have
Yeah,
a big
absolutely.
impact on their life.
And not only that, I think something else that we should think about is the holiday season can be a great season for so many people. But you got to remember, there's a lot of people that goes into serious depression, anxiety, and fear, and they thoughts of suicide. So I think if we all just focus on helping someone this season, we can make a difference. So I like what you guys are doing, man. I think it's awesome.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being a part of this. And I know you're busy, so I didn't want to take up too much of your time.
All
'Cause
right.
you're going.
Thank you so much.
all
God
the
bless you guys.
directions, so.
See you, Tank.
Sam, hold on.
Thanks for joining.
Sam,
All right.
Oh, what do we got?
when you come near Florida, let Scotty know so that we know, because Austin wants to come see you and talk to you.
Sounds good. I'll see him for sure soon. I don't think we're touring Florida for a while, but I think I'm coming with my wife soon. So
Okay, you need to go to
I'll
Georgia.
get a hold of you guys. I'd really like to see him too.
Yes.
God bless you all. Love you and praying for you.
Sam.
Love you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody, for joining us.
Sam. Tell the kids hi.
Keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Well, we just had a celebrity and doing some incredible things, but I also wanted to be respectful of his time. He's a busy man,
Yes.
doing some great things. Took out a time for a show that's pretty small. And so thanks for helping arranging that.
Absolutely.
I want to get you guys up here actually together. So we got you guys up there together. Is there any questions we have from the chat group? We have Tank with us, and we've had Tank before, but we have Austin and Angela, and they're part of the Pulling Each Other Along book. So thank you guys for being that. What's new in Angela and Austin's life? What's going on with you guys?
Well, not too much is new. I didn't want to take up too much time without talking to Sam, But to tell the story too, to finish it, Austin has a lot of medical issues, heart issues, lung issues, multiple bowel surgeries. He's died a few times and been brought back, luckily. So he's a fighter, give him that. The last one was pretty bad. Luckily, he made it through that. We actually were seeing Sam, and he was a bad surgery, son.
It was?
Yes.
What happened?
We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
Anyway, so, I want to, make sure that everybody does realize that the difference that they brought into our lives with the Punishers. He was bullied really bad at school. His nickname at school is Wheelchair Boy.
Still is.
And, they did so many different things. For Austin came and 50 something bikers came. I want to say about 60 with their wives. They took off. They came 3 to 4 hours and picked him up from school, went and had lunch with him, made a whole day, rode him around, had an amazing time. For his birthday, one of the chapters came and picked him up from school with 3 guys, and took him off. That was a big hit at school because everybody's like, dude, I saw you. They threw him a birthday party for Halloween weekend, put a birthday party Halloween. We smashed the cake in his face, which was epic. It was great.
I am now terrified of cake.
I would imagine.
He doesn't trust us with a cake. So my best friend made him a cake for his birthday because I had to work. And he walks up and he's like, "You're not going to smash my face, are you?" And she's like, "No, buddy." He's terrified of cakes.
Right.
I'm scarred for life.
So Austin, do you know who's playing football tonight?
No, I did not.
No, you don't know. I didn't know until I checked a little bit ago. But it's an interesting game tonight, and you're going to have to make a prediction. All right. So we have a reunion of the Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Falcons.
Falcons.
And so that's an interesting game
Patriots
tonight.
cheat.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Whatever.
Oh my goodness. So you want to start? You want to give the first predictions of who's going to win?
I feel like the Falcons.
Falcons.
I feel like the Falcons are going to win.
We're going with the Falcons. And I guess I have to say it before we go any further. Dave Clark is winning with 7 wins and 3 losses. Dave Geis pulled out a miracle win last week.
Yes, sir.
And he's got 6 wins and 4 losses, and I've
Man.
dropped all the way to 5-5. That's kind of painful. But it is what it is. I should have went with my heart last week because, it is what it is. You just didn't think that Baltimore would have lost last week, and then they did.
It's true.
So
See,
good for
the
you, Dave Geis.
Patriots, they cheat.
No, they don't.
Okay, no. Listen why. Listen why.
All right,
Because when they grab the ball, they grab it so tightly that it just like deflates the air.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, and it's what happened back in
Okay, so anyway,
2012.
let Doug finish.
well, with all the news out there, you never really know what happens in life.
That was
Exactly.
against Baltimore.
That was that against Baltimore?
That was
Right.
against Baltimore.
All right, so
Deflate gate.
Deflate gate. It did.
Was
It
it against
actually
Baltimore?
got
You
caught
know what?
deflating
You
the
know
ball.
what? Let me speak on that for a minute.
All right,
Here we go.
Let me speak on that for a minute because Austin's actually absolutely right. Yeah, everybody bashes the Houston Astros for what they did. What about the Patriots cheating against my Ravens?
There you go.
Okay,
I'm right for once.
So does that mean you're not going to be rooting for the Patriots tonight? Do you
I
think they're
hate
gonna
the
win?
Patriots.
See, thank you.
I can't stand the Patriots and Bill. I'll keep my personal opinions. But are you asking me to pick right now?
Yes.
Atlanta Falcons.
Going with the Falcons. Tank, who you got tonight?
It's just-
Oh, you're on mute.
Nope.
You're whispering. Let me see if I can pull you back up. There you go.
Nope.
No, you're still on mute.
No, I was just doing that to be
Oh, there
funny.
you go.
I'm going to go with
That was-
Atlanta.
That was
Going
good.
with the Falcons. Dave Geiser.
I am going with the Patriots.
No,
Ooh,
no,
ooh,
no,
we could
no.
be tied.
See, this is one that I hate again because I'd much rather see the Falcons win than the Patriots.
This is true.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Falcons because I don't want the Patriots. And the thing is, it's like last week. I think the Patriots are actually going to win. You know what? Let me flip it. I'm going to go with the Patriots. And here's
Oh,
why.
wait a minute. You
I like their
already picked.
quarterback.
No,
I like their
no,
quarterback.
no.
Pulling a Brett
You
Favre.
can't change. You
I
can't
pulled it.
change.
I pulled it. No, you can change them. It's our show.
Who's home?
So who else is going with the go?
Who's home tonight? Who's home?
Sharon's going to the Falcons.
I don't know. I don't know that, Dave. I don't know who's home.
Uh,
That could have an impact.
Yeah.
I think it's in Atlanta. You know what?
Okay.
I'll check real
I'm going to
quick.
go with the Patriots. I like what the new quarterback's doing.
You're going under 500. Go ahead.
Probably.
Who's no quarterback?
I should go with who I want to win.
Oh yeah,
He's in the Bucks now.
Tom Brady is lame.
No.
What? All right, he's gone.
Hey, no.
He
Tom Brady.
just alienated half the world. No, I mean it's
He's actually really good, and you should really change that because he did a lot for a cancer patient the other day in the stadium.
Yes.
Ran up and hugged him, gave him his hat, football, and everything for a
did.
cancer patient.
He did.
See,
Yeah,
thank
he
you.
did. That was-
Because he's
that
an
was pretty cool.
ultimate man.
We should give him a pulling each other along award. Tom Brady.
No, he's got
Yes.
enough awards.
It's Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas
He
City
doesn't need
Chiefs.
any more
He
stinking
doesn't
awards.
need any more stinking awards like you, Dave Clark.
The game
It's
is in
Patrick
Atlanta.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all got to give Tom Brady what he did for the kid with cancer. Okay.
Yeah, he
That little
did.
boy had
That
the
was-
little
that was-
sign
that
up
was
and
great.
everything. Yes.
You're right.
Gotta give him that.
I'll give him some kudos for that. And one of the
Yeah,
reasons
thank
I can predict the Patriots today is because he's not playing for him.
Oh, okay.
It's a little easier to like the Patriots now that he's.
And the game is in the South. It's in Atlanta.
Yeah. It is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That could help Atlanta, but
And it
I don't
could.
know.
They
We'll
just don't look
see.
very good this year.
So
One of
hey,
the comments says, "I hate the Patriots, but I say they will win."
all right.
Oh yeah, Melanie.
So you're going with the Patriots because you think they're going to win.
No, he
And,
went with the Falcons. That's his
Yeah, he
one
went
comment.
with the Falcons.
Oh, you went with the Falcons.
Yeah.
Hank, who'd you go with?
Wow.
Atlanta.
You went with Atlanta, just to get it
Yep.
straight. Dave, you went with Atlanta. I'm going Patriots, and Dave Geis, you're going Patriots.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so it's 2 against 1 on Dave Clark this week. So that could be
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, actually, it was 2 against 1.
Yeah. Anyway, what else we got going, guys? I want Tank. You had something brewing, Tank. You didn't want to announce, because I do have the reward out for the Punishers. So we have actually a Punisher award. It should have just gone live. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to add to two of those awards. I'm gonna try to add our challenge coins, one challenge coin to each package, and those are the metal challenge coins that are specific to each individual chapter.
Okay.
Nice,
Well, let me know if I can add that on there. You can text me afterwards. We can talk afterwards.
Yeah, I'll get with you.
Okay.
I don't see that it's going to be an issue. And now that Sam's gone, Sam and I are from the same town, and he's a great guy, but I just when you're talking to him, he'll never accept the credit for what he does, and he's probably one of the most humble men that I've ever met, because everything that he does in Africa started with him, and he takes zero credit for it. And I just got to shout out to him, because with everything going on over there, he's pulled somebody along thousands of times over. With these kids in a different way, and he's just doing amazing work over there, and he's just he's truly a gift from God.
Yeah, well, and you guys are doing that as well. When I see a picture like this with Austin, I think that encapsulates what the Punishers are doing, where they've taken him under their wing, so to speak. They've included him.
Yes.
We talked about that last week with the new word that Todd came up with, and we all want to be included, and we don't want to be outcasts. We want to be incasts. And so, and that's what you guys have done with Austin, and that's what your chapter is about. And
Austin has more so overdone that for us. Absolutely. That's, I don't know what his heart's made out of, because it's definitely stronger than gold. I mean, Austin's a lion, man.
You're a lion, Austin. Can you roar?
Can you
roar?
Do it. I'm not doing that.
Do it.
No, last time I asked him to do that, he was like, meow.
He's really a lioness. So.
Meow.
He's only got a little.
Do it.
A little
Ask him to
meow.
do the bear. Ask him to do a bear. So we're in Walmart one day, and he does like a growl, and this lady goes, her little girl goes, "Mom, look at the bear," and looks at Austin dead on it. Was so do it.
Roar.
Stage fright.
That was not it. It was like an ultimate, like you're in the woods hunting and a bear is coming after you. Like you made a grizzly mad.
No, I was like, roar.
Hey, Austin, let me ask you a question, and then maybe we got some questions from Dave and Dave. What do you think about being in this book, pulling each other along?
I think it's pretty cool. I get to be in a book. People are gonna know me. I get to tell people about like how I am and everything.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
What are some of the things that you remember the most of how somebody pulled you along, Austin?
The Punishers, and when I first met them, they didn't care that I was how I am and everything. They just treat me normal.
Yep, you're an incast now. You're not an outcast, and that's kudos to you, Tank, and all the Punishers.
Clap.
Yeah.
That's a good question. If you don't know, I appreciate that. If you didn't know something, you asked, and that's how you learn. That's how you learn. That's a good thing. So we got what bikers are awesome from Sharon. Is this true?
Yes, they're truly amazing. Like I can't tell them thank you enough, and they thank us for Austin. But in so many ways, there's different things that have really and truly pulled Austin along. He's having a bad day. He messages Tank. He messages Fish. He messages Seagar. Out of the Flagler chapter over here, Mountain. Out of the Brick City chapter, Jester sometimes, he messages so many and they just respond right back to him. Like our phone blew up when he was in the hospital. I felt so bad because he was laying over here in a just a medical coma, for a day. And I felt bad because everybody's like, hey, buddy, wish you feel better. So I started messaging people like, when he wakes up, he'll get back to you. He had over 300 text messages alone.
Wow.
And I want to say more than that came through Facebook, phone calls. Viper got on the phone with him and told him about a funny story that he thinks about the chickens of the neighbor. And literally, Austin's over here passed out asleep. And I'm like, Viper, I love you, but you're talking to me. He's like, did he pass out on me? I said he did. He sat there for 25 minutes telling him a story.
I remember that.
And it was just, he's like, Viper, I just need to talk to somebody. And he literally fell asleep to listen to Viper tell a story. There's so many different things that so many have done. They sent him a challenge board and I would take it down or take two and see it, but I don't want to knock it offline. All the coins are full.
Right.
all the rows are full.
There.
Tank has talked to Chris up in New York. They sent him over 700 patches. And I want to make a blanket and just be able to hang them up in a display because I don't want to put them away. Chris is always doing things for Austin. Had a turkey call made for him because Austin loves to hunt apparently by the back wall. There's so many different things that have happened and it's just changed Austin's life,
Right.
and he has so many brothers, so many friends. I want to call them more than brothers, so many uncles, that he can just pick up the phone and they're like, hey, what's going on? What's up? Do you need us? I mean, literally it's just been amazing.
Right. Now, somebody just made a comment. It's her name's not coming up, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is. It's April. And April just made a comment in the chat, basically saying that bikers had done a parade for Gabriel last year for Christmas. And I know you're going to be missing Gabriel a whole lot, but I also want to encourage you to hang in there and just do him proud, with his memories and all those kind of things. Because he's a special little boy, and he's in my book, and he's in our book, and all of us are a part of this book at this point, and and we want his legacy to be remembered as a boy that pulled people along without even being able to speak, and so those bikers helped him, and so that's really cool there as well. Because again, we always the bikers, as you well know, Tank. I think you guys get a bad rap.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's across the board. You have the bikers that are the 1% that don't typically conform, and then you have the 99% that do. But when it comes to kids, everybody conforms to that, and everybody's all in, regardless of what side of the fence you're on. The patches don't matter. What matters is the mission for that kid that's in front of you, or the person that's in front of you.
Yeah, that's we kind of see that, Dave. When you say we see that with the baseball camps, it's kind of like baseball players, they're athletes, they're in essence, these are the gifted of the most gifted when you're at the pro level. But when we put them in front of kids with disabilities, man, all that stuff goes away.
It's a perspective changer.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of step back and reassess where you're at, and and it's a privilege to have the platform, as a pro athlete, to be able to help and do things like that, because at the same time, you may be pulling them along, but they're pulling you along too. It's a lack of a better term, a catch-22, because we get pulled along plenty for what we do with the camps. They pull us along as well as us pulling them along.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So the camps are amazing. I will say that right now. When we were there, it was such a difference. Tank took us down there. We went and we had an amazing weekend down there. He took Austin, down there for Labor Day, had a blast. Tank is so close with Austin. It's unbelievable. And going down there to see that camp was just amazing. I came back and told the doctors that I work with about it. And so many were like, I want to be a part of this. Like, what can we do to be a part of that? It's touching because, there's so many, just to see their smile, and the way that they are, it's just so caring. It's amazing.
And the thing is what I've noticed through watching this show and listening to the Daves and Doug, if you listen to them, they're way more fun in person. Although I always walk away laughing just watching, and just being around them in person is a rib splitter. But and what people aren't realizing is, with the price of a cup of coffee, the difference that they can make it in these camps and what these men are doing. Literally the price of a cup of coffee. It's just, it can make a huge change.
Yeah, and so and that's what do you have a challenge that you can give to your Punisher guys about what we're doing with pulling each other along? I mean, you guys are in the book. It's a way to promote unity. Get something around we agree with. What's a challenge you might be able to give them?
I've been reaching out to the Punishers, and I'll say that I'm a member of the Punishers because it's probably the kindest and most loving group of men, and it's truly in every sense a family of brothers, and we get disgruntled against each other. We have sibling rivalry, but I think whatever chapter sells the least books, we got to figure out a punishment for them. But
there you go.
It might be Bonnie in the ring with Bonnie Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I tell you, it won't be me. Because I'll go broke buying them before I get in the ring with Bonnie.
I would think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm all good with staring at ceilings. I don't think I'd want to be punched by her in any way, shape, or form.
No. Not even as far gone as she is, as far as being out of full-time boxing type stuff. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
it's
she's
still
still
there.
got a good. Yeah, I think she's still got a little punch in her.
Yeah.
So, Tank, what's your favorite donut?
My favorite donut's maple bacon.
What's your favorite?
What's Austin's?
Yeah.
Just maple.
Maple.
Maple?
I like
Maple
Krispy
is
Kremes.
pretty popular.
What about you, Angela?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You get them when they're hot and they like fall apart. They're great, aren't they? Krispy Kremes are the bomb.
No,
Duck
it's
Donuts.
Dunkin'. It's
Krispy
Dunkin'.
Kreme.
Yeah, I know you like. I went to
Yeah.
Duck Donuts when I was down in Naples, I think. But the last time I was here a while ago, I had to go try them because they are pretty cool because they make them right there for you.
Yeah,
I believe Tank still owes me some donuts.
I think
I
he
do.
does.
I haven't forgot. I keep texting you, asking you what your address is, and then I found out I had your number wrong, so I was texting the wrong person.
So that person's gotten like 3 dozen
That's a
donuts.
great one. I haven't heard that one before.
He needs to send you some badass coffee. That's what he needs to send you, Dave. That's the bomb. Austin's favorite coffee shop is in Naples. Badass coffee is amazing.
Badass
Second
coffee.
favorite is Dunkin'.
Yeah, they're a coffee company out of Hawaii. They have very few franchises in the mainland, but one of those is in Florida here, and it's just Kona coffee. It's what can you say?
Coffee and donuts. Dave Clark doesn't drink coffee. Dave, guys,
I
you a
don't.
coffy drinker?
No,
Nope.
I don't like
Jesus,
any. I
Dave's
don't
don't
like any
drink
hot
coffee.
drinks at all.
You're missing out. I don't drink coffee, but I would drink badass coffee.
I have a question for Austin, actually.
Hi.
Austin, how old are you right now?
15.
15. All right. So let's say 10 years down the road. Okay, you're 25. I don't know if you've thought much about this or not, but what would you like to be doing 10 years from now?
He has thought about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Riding a bike, huh? Yeah.
Riding a bike with the boys.
There you go. All right. All right.
There
Cool.
you go. Thanks. Should you do that again while you're no, there you go with the Punishers. We'll do a little shout out to the Punishers.
Nice.
So I mean, they sound mean, they look mean, but we know better.
Oh yeah, they're big teddy bears. They're amazing. Softest hearts ever.
Even
Yeah.
Sharon
When I
just
first
said,
saw them, my face was like,
Yeah. Sharon said that local bikers did a fundraiser for a young boy with leukemia just last night. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. We'll
That's
pray
pretty
for him
sad.
because
Cool.
it's cancer is just horrible, and it's such a battle for every health issue right now, and it's so scary. Because honestly, you never know when somebody's last day is going to be. You don't.
Especially not the kids.
And you're taking so much medication, and it's so trying. We will pray for you.
Yeah,
I really,
very
really
good.
truly hope for everybody there.
Well, and we have a story. She was on a few weeks ago. Ava Page is part of our Picking and Kicking Cancer, is one of the chapters of people that help pull her along, and how she's been pulling people along, and that beautiful song that she did, that we put the video. So if you go back and look at one of the old Pulling Each Other Along podcasts with Ava Page, you get to hear. And she's just getting her last chemos. It's not like it's 100% over, but she's out there singing and writing, and she's going to these writing conferences, and she just picked another song that she wrote. If you get her on Facebook, pretty amazing talent.
It was beautiful. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. So many people have so many different talents, and it's hard because you look at life, and that's what's his sister, who couldn't be here tonight because she's working, because the girl works 4 jobs. She refuses for me to help her through nursing school. She's going to put herself through nursing school. So I praise her, because without Austin, or her, it's so hard, because she's the rock for Austin, and pulls our family along so much. And there's so many different things that people don't realize that the siblings go through, that you love your brother or sister, and then here they are fighting this illness. And just as much as we as parents go through it, the siblings do it too.
Right. And then obviously you've dealt with the bullying and all the other stuff, where, it's really sad. I mean, it's sad, but the good side of it, Austin, obviously, is that you've met some pretty incredible people along the way. I've seen pictures of you with cheerleaders around you, and
Oh yeah.
last I knew you had a girlfriend, but we haven't talked about that for a while, so maybe not on
Yeah.
air.
I'm still dating her.
Yep. She's still around, Shiley. She's amazing. She's great.
So probably mentioning all the cheerleaders being around you wouldn't be a good idea.
Well, it's on their Facebook page, but he was pretty young then. He was really, really young. So. Too young to count, right, Dave Clark? It doesn't count, prior to being 40, right?
Well, the good thing is they're all overage, so
Yeah, they all count.
They all count.
They just want to hang around the cool people.
Right?
They want to be around the cool kids.
Hank, when you said that we were funny, I think the funniest thing that we ever did was never recorded, because it was remember when we did the pre-show a long time ago? I don't know, episode 3 or 4 or 5. I don't even know what it was. We had you on, but what we got laughing so hard on the pre-show and the after show that we didn't record. That would have probably been our best ever podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we can always get back there, I'm sure.
or maybe last week with Todd Sivan, the after party. Oh my gosh!
Oh man,
we can't go back there.
Todd.
Hey, I want to make a comment here. Getting back to the cancer thing. I don't know. I had cancer as well as polio.
Wow.
I had cancer 2015, 16. And so I went through the treatment. I know what that does. You've got Dave Geis here, whose wife is currently battling cancer and the treatments that go along with it.
Right.
You got one of our, I don't know if he's listening in tonight. I know he was going to try, but Mike Bowers, one of our former general managers with the Indianapolis Clowns, a great guy, also a preacher. Yep. He just finished bladder cancer treatments yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So it just seems like cancer is something that invades everybody's life in one way or another. Yeah. And it's not a pleasant thing to deal with, but I think your attitude, and I'm not going to say that with everything, because sometimes it's in God's hands what happens. But I do know that fighting positive attitude really does get you through some of the down periods that you're going to get. So I just wanted to mention that because there's a lot of people out there that are battling one form of cancer or another, and it can be beaten. It can be beaten.
Right.
It can.
Yep, attitude goes a long way.
It really does. It truly does. And it's so much changing in life, just being a parent of everything that I've dealt with. I talked about Austin's, other issues. The one thing I did forget to mention was, his spine, which we're currently treating with a chiropractor, who donated his services to Austin. He's the only chiropractor in Northeast Florida that does children with special needs. And he does amazing things with Austin. He gets in there and, Austin has probably about an 85-degree curve right now. It's completely under his right shoulder blade.
Here, somebody just beats in, and he's probably eating.
Oh, he is.
I wanted to catch him while he was eating.
He's always eating, so that's easy to do.
Hey, Kurt, how you doing?
Doing good. Great to be here.
You guys know Kurt? You probably have seen Kurt on some of the shows before, right?
Yep.
So
He's
they
like
turn it off.
I don't know what Kurt is. What are you, Kurt?
Well, I'm kind of like at the Oscars or the award shows where you just got to fill a seat. It makes the
seat
show
holder.
bigger.
Yes,
I like it. All right.
He's a square filler.
He's a square filler. Kind of like a roster filler, right, Dave?
There you go.
I want to say too, Tank arranged it too to where Chris off of Five Finger Death Punch did a video chat with Austin. Yes, which was awesome. He also had Tim McGraw get on here with Austin, who invited him when he comes to Florida to go backstage. Chris offered to come see him, but COVID kind of lapsed with that,
And I would like to give Tim a shout out because I did invite him to watch tonight.
Okay, hi Tim. If you're watching.
Hi.
Well, if Tim is watching,
tell this story, Dave.
Yes.
I did a baseball camp with your dad in 1980.
Oh wow!
And your dad left an imprint in a birthday cake of one of my teammates with his butt. So I'll never forget that. Tug was a great guy, man. A great guy, and you talk about being the life of the party and fun. That was definitely him.
So if Tim's listening and he doesn't know, Dave played in the Phillies organization in 1980. Dave was with the the Pioneers?
Around that time,
Pioneers?
What's that? Yeah. I was a roster filler.
He was a roster filler, and but he was doing a camp, and Tim, if you're
we got $200, me and another one of my teammates, and Tug came over from the Phillies and got $10,000.
Wow.
So
that's fair.
Tug
maybe you should have put your butt in the cake.
That's been done before.
Please no. Yeah, Dave probably did that somewhere.
I'll give you $10.
Frozen window.
I can use that right now.
Kurt's still eating the cake.
It's good.
What's for dinner tonight, Kurt?
Oh, not cake.
Awesome.
I still have to eat.
Made pizza pie.
Pizza pie.
Nice.
Do you have pizza outside of New York? Is there such a thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All righty. Well, any last words of encouragement or thoughts that's on your guys' minds? That's for anybody.
No, we just want to thank everybody. What do you say?
I'd like to say one more thing.
Dave's got his one more thing.
Yeah, before we go off the air, I'd like to issue, if Mike Bowers is listening in, a final eulogy to the Cleveland Indians.
Oh,
because tomorrow morning they officially become
the
Cleveland Guardians.
I have a question. I have a question about all that. All right, the Indians had to change their name. The Redskins had to change their name.
What about the Braves?
Well, not just the Braves, the Chiefs,
Blackhawks.
Why are they still able to do that tomahawk chop?
Because you can't stop 60,000 people from doing it.
But it sounds like they started in the it's a recording starting it. So the Braves are starting it.
Maybe.
Maybe it's karate chop now.
Well, I know when I lived there, Jane Fonda, because Ted Turner, they were still married, and she was trying to get people to do this instead of this.
Oh, really?
That never happened.
No comment.
No comment.
My
Anyway,
opinion
good
is
night
that.
to the Cleveland Indians.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Yeah. It is Thanksgiving next Thursday. So we probably won't have a pulling each other along show.
Oh,
We'll
do
probably
Wednesday.
What's that? Maybe Wednesday.
Yeah,
Well, we might still have some special Kickstarters, especially if we have a special announcement to share, those kind of things, because we are not at our goal yet, just as an update. So if the people that are listening in, if you haven't helped with our Kickstarter, we are asking you to jump in and help. Although I bet you most of the people have already helped, but we do have some new perks out there, and keep sharing. The Kickstarter is going in a positive direction, but if we don't get to that 12,000 mark soon, I'm going to lose some age and some more hair, and I don't want to do that. But we'll get to the 12,000 mark. I'm pretty confident that we'll get there. But we really 12,000 was kind of our minimum goal. Not to be greedy, but we want to sell a whole lot more books and get these stories into a whole lot more people. And to get the message, I actually talked to a very, very large conference about having several of us come next summer. Had a good call with that today. So there's more to the mission of what we want to try to accomplish than just selling some books. And so, Punishers, if you guys can help us out, please
Any
do.
way we can.
I don't want to beg, but Dave, why don't you beg?
Don't throw me under the bus, man.
Hey, we will help any way we can, and I encourage that from all of our chapters worldwide. The great leadership in front of them. There's no reason why they can't pull that membership along.
Yeah.
And
well, you guys are highlighted in the book, and I think it shows the goodness. And takes out that stereotype of just rough men and bikers and all that kind of stuff, but it shows the heart. And I think Laura just posted up something.
Yeah.
Laura Shagnon says, pulling each other along is people helping people climb the ladder of life to become the brightest star. And couldn't be said better than from a poet like Laura.
She is such a great woman. I got to talk to Thom a little bit, and he sent me a little video of her, and it's just the courage that woman has is incredible.
Yeah, and the impact. I mean, still going to prisons and sharing her story, and not bitter, even though she was brutally beaten by heroin addicts for $10. Yep. And even worse things than being brutally beaten and left for dead. And here she is. She's written so many poems and so much poetry, and infecting people's lives with a spirit that wasn't obviously broken and was meant for a reason.
Yeah.
So thanks for pulling us along, Thom and Laura. Thank you guys for pulling us along. Thank you guys for being a part. Kurt, you being that backstager eating, and I pull you up by surprise.
Kurt being Kurt.
Kurt being Kurt. Actually, Kurt, if you could give me a call, I'm wanting to talk to you about what we talked about last week, so that'd be great. So,
and we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys pulling us along. So, Doug, Dave's, all the D3 Daves, and Kurt,
our other Dave, and our other Dave.
Yes,
we have some other Daves. So thank you, Tank. Thanks for that word of encouragement.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you guys for being a part. This has been episode 40.
40.
Of pulling each other along. And I don't even know if I 100% counted right, but we're around 40. So we'll just go with that. I did go to the University of Georgia, so you have to have.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Go dogs. Go dogs. And thank you for continuing to join and listen in. And please do share the Pulling Each Other Along story and have people go to the website, all those wonderful things. and we'll just all say goodbye. Should we turn the hip hop music back on, Austin?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Here we go. We can end with the hip hop music. Everybody say goodbye.